Evening, the best of the best in girls high school hoops have gathered for one last send-off before moving on to the college ranks. These are the current faces of Division I women's college basketball. Now with the Final Four and the culmination of March Madness only days away, they are the undeniable stars shining bright on the road to a national title. But before they shared the NCAA spotlight, they first showcased their skills here on high school basketball's biggest stage. It's the 2007 McDonald's Girls High School All-American Game coming your way next. Welcome everyone inside glorious Freedom Hall here in Louisville, Kentucky. We are getting ready for the preeminent high school all-star game to come your way. It is the 6th annual Girls McDonald's High School All-American Game. Joining me now is Tim McCormick. I'm Eric Collins. Quint Kesnick will join us in just a couple of moments. And well, Tim, you have such special history with this game. You actually played on the boys' game in 1980. It's come a long way since then.
It certainly has. This is the 6th year for the girls, and it's so important to recognize all of their sweat and their hard work. The highlight this week was a trip to Ronald McDonald House to visit sick kids, and also the memories that will last for the rest of their lives.
Tim, you and I have been here all week long. Who are some of the special players that we should keep an eye on today?
Well, there's two players in particular that I was really impressed with. The first is the young point guard, Italy Lucas, an absolute jet in transition going to North Carolina, not afraid to share the ball, and on the other side, Maya Moore, an amazing star both on and off the court, and the player of the year in girls high school basketball.
There is Italy Lucas. She is heading off to North Carolina. Will she be the next Ivory Latta? Who will be the next Courtney Paris? Who will be the next Lindsey Harding? We shall find out. The best of the best in high school basketball are on this floor tonight, and we will tip it off when we come back. Coming up, it's the 6th annual McDonald's Girls All-American Game. Welcome back, everyone, to Louisville, Kentucky. We're here at Freedom Hall getting ready to tip off the 6th annual Girls McDonald's All-American Game. And joining us now is the third member of our team, Quint Kesnick, who has more on the two women in our Star Watch, Italy Lucas and Maya Moore.
Thank you, Eric. Italy Lucas, the first athlete from Nevada to be a McDonald's All-American. I spoke with her father, Lamar, who's basically her personal shooting coach and rebounder. He said for the last 2 weeks, he's been motivating her by putting up pictures of the players from the East in her room, in the car, in her locker, to keep her competitive edge. Now for Maya Moore, 3 state titles from Collins Hill, Georgia, a national championship according to the USA today, and she considers this the exclamation point for her career. She says, I am never satisfied with anything less than success. Eric?
Thank you so much, Quint. And, well, already a good start for both Maya Moore and Italy Lucas during this week here in Louisville. Italy Lucas won the 3-point shootout back on Monday for the Powerade Jam Fest. Let's take a look at our starting lineup for the West. Angie Bjorkman, Italy Lucas, we talked about her, Kayla Peterson, Victoria Ball, and Tashia Phillips. A strong starting 5. And for the East, Jasmine Thomas, Satara de Graffenried, Maya Moore, Crystal Thomas, and Kelly Kane. The two Thomases, Jasmine Thomas and Crystal Thomas, they're going to play a lot together over the next 4 years. They're both heading off to Duke to play for the Blue Devils. As we mentioned, this is the 6th goal round for this event. For the most part, the West has dominated. They've won 4 of the first 5.
I had a chance to talk to a lot of the ladies prior to tip, and I said, are you nervous? Do you have any butterflies? And they said, absolutely not. I couldn't find anybody that said they're nervous other than the coaches.
The team from the East wearing the white, team from the West wearing the red. In the East, they controlled the basketball right out of the shoot, and a shot is blocked from behind. That was de Graffenried. Tried to throw it up. And an easy 2 inside, give the bucket to Crystal Thomas.
And what we noticed in the practices so far this week, the West has a big size advantage inside, but both teams can really shoot the ball well.
Peterson, offensive rebound inside, and the ball stolen away. Satara de Graffenried on the run out here. And a good bullet pass, and the other Thomas scores. This time it's Jasmine Thomas.
Both coaches said they put in some offensive sets. They said don't expect to see any of them because these girls can really play in transition.
And another steal. Thomas, Johnny on the spot. ahead to Maya Moore, and it's an early 6-0 lead for the East.
And Jasmine Thomas with the beautiful delivery. But you see the end-to-end action. This game has really evolved, and each year you find that the young ladies are so much faster in transition and able to finish very difficult drives.
Offensive rebound. Peterson has it blocked from behind. Here comes DeGraff and Reed again. Numbers for the East, a 4-on-2. Moore uses the window in an early 8-0 lead.
The interesting thing that has elevated their play so much is almost all of these girls have started their basketball careers by playing against boys, and you can really see the way that they have adapted so many of the strong to the basket moves, and they're very creative.
Shot missed by Crystal Thomas, and that's going to lead to a run out. Kayla Peterson, nowhere to go. Gets it over to Bjorklund. And the West continues to misfire. Finally, they break the ice. Kayla Peterson, the all-time leading scorer in the state of Arizona, her first 2.
Yep, going to play for Coach Vanderveer at Stanford, and she's going to get an opportunity to play right away there.
3 of the girls in this year's McDonald's All-American game are heading off to Stanford to play for the Cardinal. And a steal, Italy Lucas. And now Lucas is going to set it up. Maybe not. This is an all-star game. Might as well fire it up there. Peterson tries to make it 2 in a row, a little bit short. Another offensive rebound. Finally cleared by the East.
A very good rebounding. And if the East is going to win this game, their big girls have to control that will ignite fast breaks like that.
Nice move, Jasmine Thomas. Her second field goal. That shouldn't be too much of a surprise. Averaged 25 points per game her senior year. And another loose ball picked up by the East.
These young ladies have had such a very busy schedule since they've been here. And some of them look a little fatigued. Not only are they practicing, they're scrimmaging, but they have so many social events on their calendar that fatigue is going to be something to watch. And the good news is they all have deep benches and 12 players that can't wait to get out here. Now let's take a look in transition. Off the dribble, Jasmine Thomas is so strong. Her ball handling is phenomenal, and you have to believe that she's going to fit in very well at Duke.
That East team, you're taking a look at their huddle. Haven't even gone to the bench yet, and they're up by 11. A little over 3 minutes into this one.
With the graduation of Lindsey Harding, a lot of these girls are going to have an opportunity to step in, not only at Duke, but they're so good and so advanced that wherever they go, the majority will be impact players immediately.
Peterson off the mark. First substitution of the game for the East, Lauren Dixon into the game. She hands it off to Moore, and Moore showing good range.
All right, maybe this is a stretch, but she's a smaller version of what Candace Parker reminded me of when she played in this game. Maybe not as much post, but in terms of the poise, the confidence, and the swagger. And also, one of the most impressive people when you're talking about personality and smiling and going around and getting to know everyone. This is a player that has embraced this environment and has really spoken highly of herself in terms of the way she's been poised.
And one thing she has in common with Candace Parker, both National Players of the Year. Oh, and a collision at midcourt. Kadisha Rustin involved in the tussle with Jeanette Poland. Both just checked into the game, and
yeah, watch they're playing hard. Bam! Ouch! Those are the kind of things that tomorrow you will feel that. Aren't these supposed to be, you know, young ladies out there just having fun, enjoying themselves?
I guess not.
They seem like they're going at it.
Someone told the East that they normally lose in these things. Backdoor cut, and the pass is deflected away.
The early story is the transition defense. You don't typically say anything about defense in these games, but the East has been very successful getting out in transition.
Ray Mingo comes off the bench and hits her first shot. Mingo, a forward from Atlanta's Marist High School.
Did you say Trey Wingo?
Dre Mingo.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You've been waiting on that one. Shot missed along the baseline, and again, the beat continues. The West having a hard time getting started. And the East playing like their hair's on fire. Chantel Lavender missed basketball in Ohio, her first two.
Well, offensively, Italy Lucas needs to use that quickness and ball handling to get some easy shots for her bigger teammates.
Amy Jaski now into the game. From Chicago's North Shore, she misses her first shot. And again, here comes the East. Kadisha Rustin tries to squeeze the ball over to Lavender. And we're going to have a turnover. Ball goes over to the West. Well, good start for Jasmine Thomas in the East. They are flexing some muscle. We've played 4 minutes and 40 seconds, and it's a 20-2 East lead. Freedom Hall, great start for the East so far. They have made 9 of their first 11 shots. They have a 20-2 lead. Looking for some answers. That is the head coach for the West, Donna Moyer. Normally she has an answer or two. She is the 3-time Kentucky Coach of the Year. And that is Chad Gilbert. He is the head coach at Jeffersonville High School in Jeffersonville, Indiana. This is quite an honor for both Donna Moyer and Chad Gilbert to be the all-star head coaches.
I'm not going to focus too much on stats, but if you want to know why it's a 20-2 lead, one team, the East, is shooting 80% from the field. The West is shooting 8%. That's about as low as I've heard.
Way to break it down for us. Ball thrown out of bounds by Kadisha Rustin. Turnover gives it back over to the West. It is difficult to get a rhythm and develop any kind of cohesion as a team when you just put together 3 days ago. Allison Jackson has checked into the game. Her first shot rims out. And a foul is going to be called going for the rebound. That was Devereaux Peters who is fouled. Devereaux Peters and Allison Jackson have a relationship. They were high school teammates at Fenwick High School in Oak Park, just out of Chicago in Illinois.
Devereaux Peters on her recruiting visit at Notre Dame 2 years ago. She actually got to go to the USC ND game. She said that she really felt like the Trojans cheated when Matt Leinart was pushed into the end zone. But a big Notre Dame fan.
Going to the basket and being fouled is Jeanette Poland. She'll go to the free throw line and shoot our first free throws.
Jeanette is going to Stanford, and the key to her success is that basketball was in her family. Her brothers played, her dad is coached, and when you look at the size of Jeanette, she is a very tall point guard that loves to shoot the ball. 6 feet tall. And that's the advent of this game, that the girls, all of a sudden now a 6-foot girl that plays point guard has her skill set. It's a beautiful thing to see.
Quickly the other way, it's Lauren Dixon who draws the foul, and Dixon will go to the free throw line and shoot 2. You talk about good bloodlines and having it in your blood. Well, Lauren Dixon comes from a fantastic basketball school. It's in something in the water fountains there at Christ the King High School in Queens. She is the 4th McDonald's All-American from her high school to play in this girls' game, and this game's only been around for 6 years.
Incredible. And Lauren Dixon, when she was in 5th grade, she tried out for the boys team and made it. She said she was incredibly nervous at the beginning, but it really helped boost her confidence, increased her profile, and it's Lauren Dixon time. I'm very impressed with her ability to put it on the floor.
Shot is missed by Poland. Lavender the rebound, and she throws it out of bounds. It'll stay with the West.
It seems that a lot of these point guards have really gravitated to Ivory Latta as their favorite player, that Latta at North Carolina has inspired many of them and shared the lesson that size doesn't really matter. They all talk about her energy and love for the game.
Jaski gets inside, and a beautiful reverse up and in.
Was that with the left?
I think it was with the left.
Impressive.
Lavender over Jaski, comes up a little bit short. Rebound, this is Tyra White into the game for the first time. Peters is fouled, and Devereaux Peters now. Her first trip to the free throw line as another foul called on Dre Mingo.
Putting it on the floor, Amy Jaski is going to Northwestern, lives about 5 minutes from their campus, and she really wanted the the opportunity to build something. She could have gone to a lot of the powerhouses, but being the first ever McDonald's All-American girl is something special. She is going down in history at Northwestern.
For you trivia buffs, there has been one other McDonald's All-American to go to Northwestern, but that was as a transfer on the boys' side. Walker Lambiot, a McDonald's All-American back in the mid-'80s, originally signed at North Carolina State, played there a couple of years before transferring to Northwestern. So Walker Lambiot and Amy Jason.
That's a tough trivia question. I have to be honest about it. Not many people would know that one.
Lauren Dixon. Oh, beautiful move for the pride of Queens.
There was nothing there. That was impressive.
Bjorklund, long-range shot, and Angie Bjorklund, who's going to Tennessee next year, gets her first triple to fall.
Now, you think she's traveling as far as anybody, going to high school in Washington, then traveling to Tennessee? We'll have to check that out.
Andre Mingo is fouled. She will go to the free throw line. And there's Angie Bjorklund. Spokane Valley, Washington, at University High School, heading all the way to Knoxville to play for the University of Tennessee.
I think we found one here who's going farther from home.
Ashley Simino. Good call.
Yep, and she's going to Stanford, and she lives in Maine. That's got to be, I'll look a little bit further, but it'd be hard-pressed to find anybody going that much further from home.
Lauren Dixon goes to the bench. Ashley Simino has just checked into the game. She's wearing number 24 in white. She is the pride of Yarmouth, Maine. Bjorklund gets it inside. That's Tashia Phillips. Her first look comes up short. And with the rebound is Satara de Graffenried. 1-on-5. Didn't like the odds. There's Simino. Her first shot sails out of bounds. It'll go over to the west.
Is de Graffenried the name that you spent the most time practicing prior to this game?
Did do a little bit of research, and there's de Graffenried. She ties Steve Wojciechowski on the boys' side for having the longest name in McDonald's All-American history. Both have 13 letters.
Look at you breaking down all the trivia questions. I love it.
And up high, it's going to be an illegal screen. It's going to go over to the east.
Long name and not very tall. 5'4". 7 steals per game last year. 7.
Good. With a name like Satara, she's a hard habit to break. If anyone gets the reference, I'm sure I'm impressed. Mara Strickland with the jump shot. Good offensive rebound inside. That's Kelly Kane on the possession for the East. And we're going to have a tie-up. Possession area is going to give it over to the West.
Well, after a very slow start offensively, the West has really picked it up. Of all the shooters here, you know who really impressed me was Bjorklund. Her release is great, and I think that she's a very important. Angie is going to Tennessee.
There she is taking the jumper that comes up a little bit off the mark. Good defense getting back to spoil the effort. Lanita Sanford running the floor well.
I was talking to Bjorklund, and I mentioned, did you see that Shanna Zolman sitting over there? And she got all fidgety, and she got so nervous, and she started stammering, and that's her hero.
She was from the original McDonald's Girls All-American game back in 2002. Shauna Zolman now in the WNBA playing for San Antonio. Jumper up and in.
Do you think we can get Shauna to come over and sit with us a little bit later?
That'd be nice. That would be nice. Last basket, Mara Strickland. Well, things have improved slightly for the West since that 1 for 14 start.
Comparatively speaking, they're on fire.
For the East squad, number 34, Crystal Thomas in the game.
Crystal Thomas back into the game. Also back into the game, number 33. I'm sorry, 32. That's Maya Moore.
One of the real enjoyable things about this game has been watching the interaction between the boys and the girls. Nice delivery inside.
Tashia Phillips with the 2.
They really seem to get along great, don't they?
At the slam dunk contest back on Monday evening, yeah, it was a lot of people that knew each other. They all run in the same circles with AAU basketball nowadays, and it seemed like everyone knew each other to begin with anyway, both the girls and the boys. We're going to have a foul called on the West. Ball will stay with the East. Timeout on the floor early on, a 26-12 lead. West trying to get back into this one. They trailed the East 26-12. This is the 6th McDonald's Girls All-American game. Well, 8 o'clock on ESPN, and we're going to let you in on a little secret. It was Italy Lucas who was the girls' three-point champion on Monday's Powerade Jam Fest. She put on quite a performance.
She did, and she explained that her great shooting release was tutored by her dad. They worked in the backyard. They shot 500 shots per day, and she said it was so nice because she and dad just talked all the time, and she called him a triple threat dad, that he's the rebounder, the shooting coach, and a great friend. Isn't that a nice story?
Fantastic. As she says, her dad's her best friend. Oh, to Grafenried, great pass, and the layup counts. It's Strickland on the receiving end. That's an all-star game when you get the behind-the-back pass for 2. Pass stolen away by Kane, and again the East on the run out. It's the Grafenried, this time not nearly as smooth. And the ball out of bounds over to the West.
Again, in the East slot, number 15, Jasmine Thomas, replacing number 20, Mara Strickland.
Now let's enjoy some special transition off the dribble. Perfect pass. And that's what happens. These girls have been watching this game over the last 6 years, and they were little kids and they were dreaming big, and now they get a chance to come out here and prove it. Very good perimeter defense. The contesting of shots has been phenomenal so far.
Jasmine Thomas. Offensive rebound, Maya Moore, and the National Player of the Year comes up empty. And the ball finally batted out of bounds. It will stay with the East.
It's so important, Eric, to have vision, and to play off the point about the girls over the last 6 years setting this as a goal. When you're young and sometimes you're thinking of, why am I going out in the backyard? To have something like this as your goal is the most important thing.
Kelly Kane uses the window. 6'6" center from Atlanta. St. Pius Catholic High School. Tashia Phillips is fouled.
Did she break your hand when she shook hands with you? Those are the strongest hands that I have ever met on a girl. Amazing.
Tashia Phillips is, she's clobbering people's hands. She's actually very much in demand. We'll talk about that in just a moment. We are here at Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. This is the 6th annual Girls McDonald's All-American game. Alongside Tim McCormick with Quint Kesnick, I'm Eric Collins. Sure glad you could join us. Tashia Phillips is a free agent. She has not decided where she wants to play her college basketball, and she feels like she's in the catbird seat.
Well, I think there are probably 23 other girls that are all recruiting her to come join them at her school.
With the offensive rebound, more positives going on for the West.
And crashing the boards, Victoria. Don't call me Victoria, call me Vicky Baugh. The offensive rebounds is really the way that the West can win this game. They have very good size and should be able to attack missed shots.
Ball heading off to Tennessee next year from Sacramento, California. 3-point play in the East. Up 30-15. Trying to add to it. Shot is missed inside, and here comes the West. Kayla Peterson ahead of the pack, and the ball stolen away. Now recovered by Poland, and she is fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line. Foul called on Maya Moore.
Jeanette Poland wants to be in the FBI someday.
She told you that.
Yes.
Shouldn't that be a secret?
I think it's important to know that if you try to pull one over on her, you don't want to mess with Jeanette Poland.
She just flunked my first test if she's telling you what she's doing. Not very covert.
She'll go covert after.
Moore. Oh, great move, hanging in the air, comes up short on the finger roll. Here comes Italy Lucas. Let's see what she's got. Poland jumper. I do see a lot of ivory ladder in Italy Lucas.
Well, I think that she's the most important player in this game because the most critical element is to be able to push, to get out in transition, and to be able to create plays for your teammates.
Crystal Thomas with that last 2 for the East. Poland tries to get it back, and no. Moore clears the rebound. Jump shot along the baseline, no problem. She's got a nice little game.
It's the mid-range, and she has the ability not only to put the ball on the floor, but if you back off of her, she's lethal from that 15-foot shot.
Amy Jaski back into the game, comes up short with a little half hook. And again, it's the East off to the races. Moore trying to split the double team is fouled. Let's go to Quint Kesnick, who's standing by with an important person in Italy Lucas's life.
That's right, Eric. I'm with Lamar Lucas, Tammy, Asia, and Isaiah, the entire Lucas family, making the trip from North Las Vegas. When Italy came out here today, what made you most proud?
Well, you know, being a father and seeing her work so hard for all these years is just so, I'm just so happy for her. You know, she put a lot of dedication and hard work into doing this, and this has been a goal of hers since the 7th grade, you know, 6 years ago when they first came out with this. And something she dreamed about, and she worked her butt off for it.
You shoot with her all the time. What do you focus on when you two are out there shooting?
Basically, what we focus on is her footwork. We start from the feet, then go up to the waist and the hips and make sure everything is facing the basket. And the last part of that is putting your hand inside the rim, shooting at the phone booth.
Thanks, Lamar. Lamar, a former semi-professional player in the Hong Kong and Philippines.
Quint, thank you so much. Well, he would have been impressed with that fantastic move. Maya Moore just rocking the cradle with one hand and dipping in a fantastic finger roll. She is showing you why she's the National High School Player of the Year.
In transition to catch, she never even touched the ball with her left hand, never had to dribble. That's a special play. My goodness.
Looked like you back in 1980 playing in this game.
Below the rim.
And with that, Maya Moore is going to get a much-deserved rest. University of Connecticut getting a special player in Maya Moore.
So do you think Maya is the strong early candidate for MVP with her play in transition, making shots?
She's got the points and she's got the moves. Artistic value definitely up there. Ball poked out of bounds and it will go over to the west. Maya Moore on what many consider to be the best high school team in the country this year, playing at Collins Hill High School in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Bucket inside, it's Kayla Peterson. She's going to have a chance to make a three-point play at the free throw line. Ashley Simoneau back into the game.
Nice pass in transition, and Kayla getting a little bit creative. Very excited next year to have a chance to play with Candace Wiggins for her senior year at Stanford.
Somehow Kayla Peterson managed a 4.5 GPA in high school.
How do you do that?
She almost doubled me. Shot made on the perimeter. Jantel Lavender, maybe the best post player in the country, stepping out and showing her range. Bjorklund. And the ball out of bounds. 7:54 remaining here in the first half. Right now, the East All-Stars showing what they're made of, much to the chagrin of Donna Moyer, the head coach for the West.
But then also just having a lot of fun throughout the course of the week.
Did you keep in touch with any of the players that you met during this experience?
I did, and having some teammates as well along with that. Obviously being able to share that experience with them, but then McDonald's obviously is something that you establish friendships with. You carry that on through college, and then now at the next level you're still able to play with some of those same girls that you started out with. So it was a great experience both on and off the floor.
So what do you think of the early play? Do you remember nerves when you were playing? What are some of the memories that you're bringing?
Excitement. I think there was just so much excitement and anticipation to get out on the floor that everybody's so keyed. And you have, like I said, you're just anticipating so much. You have no idea what it's like. We were in the first one ever. So at Madison Square Garden, it's so historic. It was just a lot of fun.
Jump shot off the mark. Tyra White can't hit it, and here comes the East. Well, just to give you a sense of how far this game is coming and the quality of play, as we're going to have a foul inside going to the dish. Khadijah Rustin is fouled. She'll go to the free throw line. In that first All-Star game back in 2002, there were 24 girls in the game. Of those 24 girls, 10 of them played in the WNBA last year as rookies, and you were one of them playing for the San Antonio Silver Stars.
And that goes to show with the kind of talent that McDonald's brings in. I know it's the same with the guys. I mean, you have so many players that are able to play at the next level and the level after that. So again, you're being able to carry those relationships on into the next level and on into that next level, being able to rival against a lot of them. And like I said, it's nothing but fun for you.
Have you had a chance to talk to some of the girls? I know that Kelly Kane and Angie Borkland and Vicky Baugh are going to Tennessee. Have they had a chance to spend some time with you, and what advice do you give them about getting an opportunity to play for Coach Summit?
Well, I talked with all of them. I met actually Baugh for the first time. I haven't seen her yet, and I was not able to be there to help recruit her, but I was there with Kelly Kane. I was there for Angie, and so I talked to them briefly. I talked to Angie a lot, actually, just what it's like, even from a shooter's perspective, going into Tennessee, and just the things that you may struggle with, the things that may be difficult. And I mean, let's get real. You're playing for Pat Summit. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be fun, and you definitely have a lot of chances to win a national championship and to go all the way. So I'm eager to see how these ladies do at the next level, wearing the orange.
There's a future Lady Vol, Angie Bjorklund.
Yeah, she's showing off for you. Wow.
Then she takes her out.
Shauna, she was so nervous. Angie couldn't even speak when I said that you had just walked in the gym. So it's kind of nice to be a role model like that. Was there a player that you looked up to and maybe that had the same impact on you?
Being honest, it's not so much even in the girls' game as opposed to just the guys. But if I were to say a girl, I would say Tamika Catchings, because of her work ethic. And she has one of the great talents in the game still to this day, but she worked and she outworks every player that she plays against, and I really admire that about her, and I still do.
Lauren Dixon with the ball up high, trying to get it into Lavender. Lavender missed basketball in Ohio this year. Little half hook, misses everything. And here comes the West, trying to get back into this one, down by 17.
Hey, Shauna, what did you think of Coach Summit wearing that cheerleading skirt? Can't let you out of here without finding out the scoop.
I was shocked, but yet I think that's Coach for you. I mean, she's going to go out of her way and somewhat out of her comfort zone to be able to help others. And how Bruce Pearl did that for the girls when they played Duke, that just shows you how close that they are in their organizations, their personalities. And Coach told her, like, I'm going to get you back. So she comes out with their little legs out of that skirt. Oh, singing Rocky Top. I don't think too many people ever forget that scene.
Lavender goes out. Mara Strickland comes back into the game as Tashia Phillips to take her last free throw. We got to put you on the spot. Final Four in Cleveland coming up starting on Sunday. Who do you have in the Final Four?
I can't root against my girls at Tennessee. I mean, that's just a bad question to ask me right now in the air. But if they do get past North Carolina, which obviously is one of the favorites to win still, you've got two teams with LSU who have beat them prior in the SEC tournament, and then you have a Rutgers team who seems like we play them every single year in the tournament, who's so athletic. They on any given night can beat anybody. So I have to go with the orange, but we're going to have to wait and see.
There's a future Lady Vol. Angie Bjorklund really starting to turn it on, and the West with life again. They were getting doubled a moment ago, and now they're back to within 13. And speaking of Tennessee, they're reloading next year. 3 of the girls in this year's game heading down to Knoxville next year. Tennessee and Stanford both just going to be stocked next year. Young talent.
I do know this, that Angie was 0 for 2 before you came on to ESPN, and now she's 2 for 2, so she wants you to stay as long as you can.
To stay, huh?
You may have a future in broadcasting. How would you break down this first half so far?
Well, the East has got to get some stops, or the West, excuse me. The West has got to get some stops defensively because they're not able to put the numbers up offensively, obviously, right now. But the East is just running. They got to get back in transition.
Good catch inside. Rushton gets it over to Simino, and Simino, the first McDonald's All-American ever from Maine, knocks in the jumper. They play good basketball up in Maine.
I guess they do.
And a foul inside. Tashia Phillips is whacked.
But look at the size difference between Phillips and Dixon inside. I respect her for getting in there and even trying to stop her progress to the rim.
I actually have seen Phillips play quite a bit in high school from Indiana Brebeuf. She played my father's team in the state tournament this past year, and she put them out. And so she played a really good game there, and I was anxious to see here of how she played against other people that are big.
And she's kind of a unique situation. We're talking about Tashia Phillips. She hasn't signed anywhere. She's still making up her mind about where she wants to play her college basketball. Do you think that's an interesting strategy or something that is worthwhile?
I think it's interesting simply because of the fact of how it still weighs on your mind. I mean, when you come into an All-American game, for me, it was just a breath of fresh air and just sheer fun, sheer enjoyment. But for her, you still got people calling you, you still got people writing you letters, you still have people waiting on your every breath, I guess, just to see where you're going to be going. So I don't know if that weighs on her at all or not.
There she is inside with the offensive rebound in the stick pass.
I do know this, that Lucas and Moore have been the headliners and they're our star watch, but Tashia Phillips, if she's not first or second, she's in that top 3 of players here.
Offensive rebound. Simino thought she was fouled, nothing called.
Was there a player during the practices that really surprised you or piqued your interest?
Actually, it was Lucas, because I don't know these girls except for, like I said, the ones going to Tennessee, and I watched the West practice the most, and I saw her play, and she reminded me a lot of my point guard at Tennessee in Lori Moore, and I like her game, and I like what she has capabilities. But tonight, seeing her compadre going to North Carolina over there, number 23, she's impressed me too.
Jeanette Poland triggers the inbounds, and there's Italy Lucas bringing the ball across the timeline. And she says she patterns her game after Ivory Ladd. You see any of that?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
They play the same position?
Yeah, exactly. Point guards, a lot of it are similar.
Well, it's been a real treat. Get a chance to talk to one of the all-time greats here in this McDonald's Girls All-American game. Shauna Zolman, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Had a lot of fun. Thanks.
And good luck this year in the W.
I appreciate that, too. We need it.
Yeah, Shauna Zolman. San Antonio Silver Stars, one of 10 former McDonald's All-Americans currently playing in the WNBA. Not bad at all. Jump shot along the baseline is up and in. Good shot, Mara Strickland. She continues to have a solid game, now with 7 points. And a turnover gives it back over to the East. 3:56 remaining in this one. Timeout on the floor. We're going to take a timeout, catch our breath. Satara de Graffenried, she has been all that she was advertised and then some. Good start for the East, up by 15. Welcome back to Louisville, Kentucky. 3:56 remaining here in the first half. The West trails the East. Lying on the electric left arm of Kat Osterman. She has graduated, now looking for new stars. And a foul inside. Satara de Graffenried is fouled as she goes to the basket.
Two, ladies, two.
Graffenried will shoot a pair at the free throw line.
The East, if they're going to continue, the number one thing that they've done this game is they have a 12-0 advantage, points in transition, and you have to give the point guard so much credit. Satara de Graffenried has really been quick. Lauren Dixon, and so far they already have 14 assists in this game, which is a very big number in an all-star contest.
Jetski can hit that shot. We saw her in the three-point shootout looking very good from behind the arc. Offensive rebound, stick back for Peterson.
And as you watch Peterson do some good work inside, the West has really relied heavily on their threes, and so far they're 2 for 13. It might be a good idea for them to get in the paint a little bit more.
It'll stay with the East. Angie Bjorklund's going to come back into the game. She's had a solid start with 8 points on 3 of 9 shooting. Italy Lucas will go to the bench. Crystal Thomas, good touch inside.
Love the jump hook. It's such an underutilized weapon. There's another 3 by the West.
And That's DeGraffenried forcing the issue. She's fouled on the floor.
Isn't this last play, though, it's the real story of this game. A missed three-pointer by the West, and then the East gets it with their jet quick guards, and it generates points in transition.
This going on, both teams will shoot the bonus.
Strickland trying to feed the posts. And we're going to have a kickball. We'll stay with the East. These two teams all got together on Sunday in the afternoon. Basically, everyone was in town. Practices Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, a shoot-around this morning. It's been a hectic couple of days here in Louisville. Loose ball, knocked out of bounds, last touched by the West. We'll stay with the East. Trying to go after that with Jeanette Poland, but she taps it out of bounds. Taking a look at Maya Moore. 11 points from Maya Moore.
I made the comment that she's a smaller version of Candace Parker. She's not the same caliber player, but close, and also the Morgan Wooten Award winner, but she is putting on a special performance in this first half.
Ellie Kane has it go in and out. And a steal inside. That's who we're talking about, Maya Moore. Just a little bit of everything for Maya Moore to go with the 13 points, and she gets back on defense as the ball is knocked out of bounds by Mara Strickland.
Maya Moore is an amazing star. She does it all. She is a high basketball IQ player and can score from almost anywhere on the court. Draws contact that could have easily been a three-point play.
Offensive rebound, nothing doing. Another offensive rebound, and we'll have free throws for the West. Whistled for the foul is Jasmine Thomas.
The foul is on Crystal Thomas, number 34.
And Vicky Baugh steps to the line, and the highlight this week for her was the Ronald McDonald House trip, and that's something that it's very important. It's really the foundation of what this game is all about. And her number one moment, she met a little boy. He had a great smile, she told me, and he was very sick, but he said that he wanted to be a football player someday. So Vicky got a sheet of paper and a pen, and she asked the little boy for his autograph.
That's fantastic. Just a good story. I know you've really enjoyed meeting these girls over the last couple of days. I have as well, but we've had unbridled access to whoever we wanted to talk to, and without fail, all 24 of these girls have just been fantastic to me.
Yeah, they all have a story. They have a dream, and the one thing that they all share, though, is just this unbridled passion that they want to be a great basketball player. That's the common denominator, the theme that they all share.
Jasmine Thomas with the left hand. And again, the lead swells up to 22 for the East. Angie Bjorklund has her shot blocked by Maya Moore. And here's Moore ahead of the pack.
Now, Maya Moore is one of 3 girls in this game that can actually dunk the basketball. You've got Kelly Kane, Crystal Thomas, and Maya are the 3 dunkers. And her knee has been bothering her a little bit, but at 6 feet tall, if she can actually dunk it, everybody says she can, that would be impressive to me.
She was an accomplished high jumper in her native state of Georgia. Her personal best was 6 feet. It's not bad. Look at our star watch, and it has been all Maya Moore, those 15 points and 4 rebounds.
Isn't that amazing? She can actually jump over her own height.
That'd be hard for you to do.
7 feet, yeah, you're exactly right.
Tyra White at the line, 2 shots.
Stepping to the line is Tyra White, who is going to LSU, and that's a difficult situation right now. She doesn't know who she's going to be playing for as the coach.
Coming up at halftime, we'll have a feature on the National Player of the Year. That's Maya Moore. We'll also take a look at that Ronald McDonald House visit that we talked about. And, of course, we'll have highlights of what we've seen so far in the first 20 minutes of play. DeGraffenried feeds it inside. Good pass. Layup is missed by Crystal Thomas. And the West will have the basketball. Allison Jackson. Good head and shoulder fake. And whoa, what a circus shot.
Tricky.
Kid out of Chicago making it look easy. And don't look now, but the West trying to make a run right before half. Amy Jaski is fouled on the arm by Jasmine Thomas. And Jaski will go to the line.
Well, very creative off the dribble, nice little touch, and those are the things that these girls are really specializing in. And also, when they get into these kind of scrimmages and practices, they see what the other girls are doing. They're given the freedom to try some moves that maybe in their high schools they don't have the freedom to take. That's a little bit of a forced shot, but it shows she's very creative and capable.
Step back three. It's the back of the iron. Moore can't get it. Inside, DeGraffenried is fouled.
Fouls on Allison Jackson, number 11.
Free throw opportunity for Satara DeGraffenried.
Satara and I actually have a common bond. She was telling me that her pet peeve in life is she hates short people jokes. And I said, I hate tall people jokes. And so we started sharing some of them. We found the one that we hate the most is she hates it when people say, how's the weather down there? And I hate it when they say, how's the weather up here? So we shared some different responses, and so we really connected.
Satara 5'5", 135 pounds, but she makes up for her lack of height with tremendous wheels. Jump shot in and out, doesn't fall for Tyra White. And here comes the East. They can hold for the last possession. Pass out of bounds, last touch by Jaski. It will stay with the East.
I like the way Moore, with the clock running down, was very unselfish. She could have forced up that shot. She's having an MVP type game, but she gave it up, and I like that.
Kane uses the window and gets the final 2 points of the first half. So the first half ends the way it began, with the East flexing some muscle and playing fantastic basketball. Call it the Maya Moore Show. 13 points, 3 rebounds, and the East on top of the West, 59-34. Sure hope you enjoyed the first 20 minutes. We'll have 20 minutes after our halftime festivities. Don't go anywhere. You're watching ESPNU. Satara DeGraffenried with the ball up high. Open look, Jasmine Thomas.
If you want to be able to score in transition, your first job is to stay with Italy Lucas. She is so quick going the full 94.
Shot missed along the baseline by Ball. And we're going to have a foul call on the West. So basketball goes over to the East. Into the game, Tyra White comes into the game. Italy Lucas will go to the bench. She continues to struggle with that shot.
Talking to the coaches before the game, they both acknowledged that in a speed game that the East had a significant advantage because of all their guards, their dribblers, and also, oh yeah, Maya Moore is pretty good.
Moore, good pass inside, and a block. Vicky Ball with the rejection. Offensive rebound, Kelly Kane.
I would say that's tough to stop if you're really good in transition, but your big girls are also really good on the offensive glass. You can play without fear.
Devereaux Peters misses the jump shot. And quickly the other way comes Jasmine Thomas. Splits the double team all the way to the rack. Offensive rebound again, Kane. Crystal Thomas, no. Moore. And finally the West gets it back, and it's stolen away. Now the ball will go over to the West as the pass is thrown out of bounds.
For the West, number 42, Amy Jaski in the game.
We saw Jasmine Thomas trying to pass it to Crystal Thomas. They're both headed to play for the Duke Blue Devils as Amy Jaski comes back into the game.
For the West, I talked to Coach Moyer, who mentioned that she put in 5 offensive plays for this game, and she said, I just hope they run one of them because they'll get in transition and start having fun. It's a lot more one-on-one. Nice opportunity for these coaches as well. The girls get rewarded for all of their hard work, but same thing with the coaches. They do a great job with their teams, and this is a nice way of saying you've had a great career and you deserve to get some recognition.
There is Donna Moyer, 16 years, the head coach at Sacred Heart Academy here in Louisville. 3 state championships as well. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the East. They don't have divisions in Kentucky basketball, so everyone plays everyone in the state tournament. And Donna Moyer has led Sacred Heart Academy to 3 state championships. Not bad. Lavender gets inside. The future Ohio State Buckeye gets a nice roll inside.
Good opportunity for Jantel at 6'4". So that she tries to play like Tiffany Jackson from Texas. Do you see that?
A little bit. I was thinking more like Jessica Davenport at Ohio State now. And I actually asked her about that, and she said she's more mobile than Jessica Davenport.
She would know.
Ashley Simino. Ball gets it over to Dre Mingo. And Mingo with a nice left hand.
And that's important because she is really a good player, the Citizenship Award winner, and she had a rough shooting first half.
And she's got a rebound here. Gets it over to DeGraffenreid. Simino. Stolen away again. It's Mingo, very active here in the second half. And every time DeGraffenreid gets the ball, she's running 100% down the floor. Can't cash in there.
Now, you mentioned earlier the West has dominated this series, right?
Won 4 of the first 5. Ball, offensive rebound. She's fouled.
That was Ashley Simino, number 24. Her team's first of the second half.
Their only win coming back in 2004.
She has 2.
On that 2004 team, Essence Carson, now at Rutgers, playing in the Final Four. Vivian Stringer in Cleveland.
Well, wouldn't you think that the East would be more dominant, though, just because historically New York, East Coast, South Carolina, Atlanta, the hotbed of a lot of really good high school basketball player is typically east of the Mississippi instead of the West, but not so with the young ladies.
Lavender, good move to get free inside.
Beautiful footwork. You notice the recognition, just seeming to know where the defense is, and she had a little hesitation to allow the defender to get by, and then she made her move.
Jaski hands it off to Tyra White. Here comes Mara Strickland. And again, Lavender showing those good hands, rips it away from a defender. We're going to have a jump ball, and it will stay with the East. So everything going the way of Jantel Lavender and the East All-Stars. They're ahead 67-37. Getting started here in the second half. The East on top of the West, 67-37. Well, get a glimpse of the best boys.
Right now, when you walked into this arena tonight and saw that McDonald's logo on midcourt, what went through your mind?
Actually, it's kind of funny. The first thing that went through my mind was, I hope I don't slip and fall on the slick, McDonald's sign. But it's just it's an amazing feeling, just to walk out on the court and just to realize how big this is. When you see all the people here and just the the McDonald's logo, it's great.
Playing amongst other stars, what's been the most challenging aspect?
The most challenging aspect, I guess finding kind of your role on the team, because we're all superstars where we come from. So just kind of, learning together and communicating, just flowing together as a team. But I think the East side, we've gotten that down.
When you think about this week, what sticks out in your mind, all the activities?
Well, first of all, when we went to the Ronald McDonald House, that was a good experience and a good opportunity because I had never, visited the Ronald McDonald House and realized what it was about. But I also enjoyed the camaraderie between the East squad. I think we've had the most fun. We've just really realized what it's about and just enjoyed it.
UConn.
Yeah, UConn, I just can't wait. My future teammate Lauren Dixon out here, we're just having fun, and hopefully we can continue to take that up to stores.
Hi, Lauren, great job. You talk about style and grace and a big smile to boot, Eric.
Yeah, thank you so much, Quinn. She's got it going on. Good head on her shoulders, and obviously a fantastic game.
Yeah, and at UConn, she told me that Coach Oriema said that she probably, will play some small forward, but she said, I'll go wherever he wants me to go. I just want to see the court.
Here's Allison Jackson. Her first shot here in the second half comes up a little bit short. Lavender the rebound. Dre Mingo. Offensive rebound, Strickland. And again, the East controls the basketball. Erica Morrow, no. Lavender, another rebound.
Right. It's plus 13 on the glass, and it's not getting any better. The other thing that's really impressed me so far is that these guards are so fast, but the bigger girls who probably don't see this pace of play back with their high school teams have done a very good job of keeping up in transition. They're not being left behind, and I think that's a statement about their athleticism.
Kayla Peterson from Fountain Hills, Arizona. There is Kelly Kane, and she is a huge reason why the rebounding edge is what it is for the East. She's already set the McDonald's All-American record for rebounds in a game with a baker's dozen.
You know who's helped her a lot? The East. Their teammates are boxing out. They're really helping out. There really has not been a lot of good opportunities because the West is just not going to the boards very hard.
And in case you're wondering, she beat out some real royalty for that rebounding record. Good up and under for Allison Jackson.
Might it be one of the Paris girls?
Courtney Paris, playing for the West in 05, had 12. And Simone Augustus, now with the Minnesota Lynx, playing for the East in 02, she had 12. But scratch those names out and put in Kelly Kane, 13 rebounds and counting. Turnover, ball goes over to the West, down by 26 points. Just saw Jantel Lavender. Growing up in Cleveland, she was a season ticket holder with the Cleveland Rockers when the Rockers played in the WNBA.
Going way back to the days of Janice Lawrence.
Here comes Erica Morrow. Over to Lavender, who we're talking about, and Lavender gets the shooter's roll.
Well, the speed is just amazing, especially of the East guards.
Peterson didn't find anyone open, so she said, "I fires up a long two." And Peterson now in double figures with 10 points. Head of the pack, this is Allison Jackson.
Allison Jackson, another Buckeye, as long as we're staying the Columbus theme. She expected to play for Ohio State at the 2 or 3, but after the first round loss in the NCAA tournament, her coach Jim Foster said, look, you might want to spend your time preparing for Columbus, working on your ball handling skills, because we may need a little bit of help at the point guard. Let's see her find work in transition. She is really excited to have a chance to play with Brittany Johnson.
Here's Jackson with the basketball, hands it over to Italy Lucas, who's been on the bench for a while.
Don't you love these shoes? They say East and West on the back. Real nice keepsake.
What kind of shoes did they give you back in 1980 when you played this game?
I think I played in the old Converse All-Stars that I brought myself from home.
Morrow, good move to get inside. Her first two, and now everyone on the East has scored at least one bucket. And a steal keeps it with the East. There's Moore. She's off to Syracuse. Play Big East basketball over the next couple of years. Lavender, no. Ball loose on the floor, and Strickland calls a 20-second timeout.
Yeah, Mara Strickland is from a basketball family herself. Let's notice some work in transition here. Erica Morrow going to Syracuse. Has made a couple of new friends that she's going to be going to school with. Actually rolled her eyes when I asked her about Johnny Flynn and Dante Green, and she said, oh my God, they're so much fun, but I can't believe they're going to be hassling me for the next 4 years.
Erica Morrow is from Brooklyn, New York, and she was a high school teammate with someone who was playing in this game a year ago. She played at Murray Bertram High School with Epiphany Prince, who's now a fantastic freshman playing for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Now, what was unique about Epiphany Prince, she scored 113 points in one high school game. I asked Erica Morrow, how did that happen that you were teammates with someone who scored 113 points? She said, I had food poisoning. I didn't even show up to school that day. I didn't play. If I'd been playing, I would have had 50, and Epiphany would have had 50. But since I didn't play, she went off with 113.
Epiphany caught a little heat over that, and her coach did over that many points in a game. Do you think that they would have been more understanding if both of them would have scored 50 instead of one player scoring 113? Now, Khadijah Rushton is so darn fast. She is a lightning bolt, maybe the fastest player since Dawn Staley. And you may remember last year, Diamond Simon played in this game, and how fast was she in transition?
Khadijah Rushton from Newcastle, Delaware. She's the first McDonald's All-American ever from Delaware.
So we've got the first from, I think you said Nevada.
Yep.
And then Maine.
Lucas has it blocked away by Morrow. It will stay with the West. Timeout on the floor. 11:57 remaining. Erica Morrow and the East having their way up big against the West. Welcome back, everyone, to the Derby City of Louisville, Kentucky. And so far, so good for the East, led by National Player of the Year, Maya Moore. They have a 73-45 lead, and it's not just all about basketball. There has been fun and games all week long here in Louisville. And so far, the fun and games have been enjoyed a little bit more by the East than by the West. Alongside Tim McCormick, I'm Eric Collins. We also have Quint Kesnick on the call, and Quint is standing by with someone very important who's probably a little bit disappointed right now. Quint, who do you have?
Yes, that special someone is Stephanie Gilbreth, who will be attending USC next year. She's from Texas, injured this week. It's been a rough week for you. A concussion early on in the week, and then yesterday in the scrimmage, you hurt your knee. What, though, are the positive memories that you're taking from this week?
You know, just going to the Ronald McDonald House and, you know, enjoying that and seeing all the little kids get so happy whenever they saw us and signing autographs and going through, you know, all the media and everything that we've been going through.
You look like a coach today, sitting at the end of the bench, helping all your teammates out.
Yeah, I'm trying to get our bench to, you know, yell and get our team up. You know, we're down a little bit, so yeah, we got to do something to pick the team up.
Heading to USC, there's another athlete here heading to USC, and that's O.J. Mayo. Have you started a relationship with O.J.?
Yeah, we've talked a little bit. You know, we got plans to, you know, win on the boys and girls side, so we'll see how it is.
Stephanie Gilbreth banged up this week, but you can see the great spirit that she has, Eric.
Quinn, thank you so much. Yeah, we really missed not getting a chance to see her play. Talked to a couple of people, and they compare her and her athleticism to Deanna Nolan, former All-American at Georgia, now at the Detroit Shock. That's just one of the great athletes in the women's game.
Well, Coach Track told her that if she's in the top 5 players, she'll start, and if she's in the top 10, she'll definitely contribute. Plays a little 2 and 3, and if she works hard, minutes are available.
It's a long way away, going all the way from Houston, Texas, out to Southern California. Allison Jackson, pull up. Lucas, the rebound. And Tashia Phillips will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, Tashia Phillips is the strongest girl here, in my opinion. She told me, I'm a gym rat. I have no social life. If you call me and say, let's go to the gym, I'm there. And if you look at her size, she is just massive in there, knows how to use it, and she gets it from her dad. Daddy is 6 feet 9 inches tall.
That'll help. Good genes. She was 6'5" as a freshman, played varsity basketball as a freshman, and she was part of a state championship team as a freshman, as well as this her senior year. So it's 2 state titles for Tashia Phillips. Kelly Kane has come back into the game for the East, trying to work on that record she has for rebounds, already with 13 caroms. Pass knocked out of bounds by Tashia Phillips. It'll stay with the East.
One thing that the East did all week in practice is they put in a lot of baseline out-of-bounds plays, and that's really paid off for them a lot. The girls know the plays, and they've got a lot of baskets off them.
Rebound this time, Crystal Thomas. Lauren Dixon into the game, feeding the post. Turnaround no good for Kane, but an offensive rebound. Rushton can't hit it. Another offensive rebound for the East.
Here's the story in this game. The East has superior guard play. They're very fast in transition, but they've dominated the glass, not only on the offensive boards, but on the defensive boards. It's been a huge disparity, a major mismatch.
For the East, 23 offensive rebounds. It's usually about 3 or 4 games worth. So Angie Bjorklund in Spokane Valley, Washington will go to the free throw line, shoot a pair.
For the West team, number 14, Kayla Peterson in the game.
Kayla Peterson back in the game. She replaces Tashia Phillips.
Angie was mentioning to me that she had a conversation with Coach Summit, and she was told that Coach really appreciates her high basketball IQ. She doesn't look at her as a point guard, doesn't look at her as a shooting guard, but she sees her as a real player, just somebody that knows the game. And Angie said that gave her so much pride to hear that from a coach like Pat Summit.
Rushton gets inside.
Another offensive rebound.
This is probably the farthest we've gone down in the shot clock. We're now in single digits. And a long jumper up and in, Jasmine Thomas.
And that looked completely in her range. I mean, she didn't have to strain at all to get the ball there. Watch the feet and watch it. It's just like a free throw for her.
If you're looking for a replacement for Lindsey Harding at Duke, maybe they found him right there. Jasmine Thomas and Crystal Thomas heading to Durham to play for the Blue Devils next year.
Also known as Showtime.
There she's got her own t-shirt. Kind of impressive. Shot along the baseline. Kayla Peterson. Peterson now with double digits in scoring. Dixon, how about that? Quicksilver point guard. Same high school, Lauren Dixon, as Sue Bird, pretty good player who went to UConn. Tina Charles, last year's National Player of the Year, who's currently at UConn.
Well, it's going to be interesting because there are already 2 point guards at UConn, and she said that her job is to go in and push both of them and try to struggle to get some minutes. But that's a nice thing, to go in and be mentored by some veteran players, learn the system, and eventually you'll have a chance to be featured.
Rushton, no-look pass over to Dixon. Kelly Kane took some prodding, finally takes it and hits it. Didn't look like she wanted to take that shot, but she nails it. And Kane now with 10 points to go with that record 14 boards. All will go over to the West.
In the game for the West team, number 11, Allison Jackson, and number 51, Lanita Sanford. For the East team, number 23,
back into the game for the West.
and number 24.
It's Lanita Sanford from Inglewood, California, heading to play for the Golden Bears next year up at Cal. Ira White gets inside. May have been bumped and still hits it with the left hand. Ira White from Kansas City, Missouri.
You would think with 9 juniors at LSU that Tyra White will really have a great opportunity in 2 years to be a major player for the Tigers.
Here she is trying to make it 2 in a row. A little short, offensive rebound up and in for Vicky Ball. Raffinery can't get the roll. Maybe a little bit of run left still in the West. Oh, and Allison Jackson maybe slipped on that decal on the floor. Got to be careful. Offensive rebound. Peterson can't cash in. Look at the ball handling ability of Dixon.
4 on 2.
And Thomas gets her own rebound. And the 6-footer.
Here's the offense for a very potent East team. Just put up there, go get it on the glass, and put it back in. That has been very impressive so far.
Offensive rebound, Peterson. And the ball goes out of bounds. It will stay with the West. So a timeout on the floor. The East, led by their 5'4" point guard, Lauren Dixon, with a big lead with 6:45 to play. We are here in Freedom Hall, and you can call Freedom Hall the house that Denny Crum built. Denny Crum, longtime head coach for the Louisville Cardinals men's team, 2 national titles, as this is their home floor, 1980 and 1986. So obviously one legendary head coach, but he's not the only legendary head coach in the building. Quint is standing by with another.
Eric, and that legendary coach is Morgan Wooten. For decades coached at DeMatha, over 1,200 career victories. He is the chairman of the McDonald's All-American game. You've been here from the start, 30 years. What is a memory that stands out, Coach?
Well, so many great players, you know, playing year after year. We picked the first All-American team actually 31 years ago with Magic Johnson and that crew. First game that was played 30 years ago. And just down through the years, all the ones that have played, going on to great college careers, great pro careers, great careers in life. And then the advent of the girls' game and Madison Square Garden in New York, that was a special moment. Many beautiful moments, many wonderful young people.
What is most special about the whole week of festivities for these athletes?
I think the most wonderful thing is the fact they visit the Ronald McDonald House. They see people less fortunate than themselves, and they realize they're playing for youngsters that don't have the advantages they do, that are not physically and mentally sound, and they come away deeply impressed that, hey, you know, we're touching some lives, we're doing something for people that will make our life special because we're givers.
You have another DeMatha athlete in the McDonald's All-American game, an incredible list, Austin Freeman. Why is he impressive to you?
Austin Freeman is a complete player. He's going to go to Georgetown. He's a great player. He's the total package, plays both ends of the floor, very unselfish, makes everybody else better. He's a typical McDonald's All-American.
You have become a coach of coaches, so your legacy living through many players now coaching at the high school and college level. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's a lot of fun to see guys you coached. They turn on the tube, and you watch a Notre Dame player, you watch a Cleveland Cavaliers player, the Denver Nuggets, and other colleges, you know, like South Carolina in the past, and NC State with Sidney Lowe now, like Derek Wittenberg and Ford. I go on, but it's just so much fun to see you guys out there coaching.
Coach, great to see you here. Continued success. Just loved having you.
Great being here, Quinn. Great cause, great event.
Morgan Wooten, 5-time national champion at DeMatha.
Quinn, thank you so much. Yeah, that's one of the unique things about this event is you're just surrounded the entire week by some of the all-time greats. Not only Morgan Wooten in the building and Denny Crum, but just over in that neck of the woods, John Wooden.
Yeah. I was in basketball heaven today because I had a chance to sit down for about 10 minutes and just talk to him about teamwork. And I coach my kids' teams, and I asked, how do you get the kids together? And he talked about balance and love, and his messages are so powerful. John Wooden, the greatest boys coach of all time. Morgan Wooten, the best high school coach of all time. So just 2 legends of basketball.
Jasmine Thomas has had a special second half. There is John Wooden.
And Sonny Hill, Philadelphia legend. Howard Garfinkel in the house from 5-star basketball lore.
Dixon threw it up. I think that may have been a potential alley-oop from Maya Moore, but Moore didn't realize it.
After 15 in the first half, Maya Moore has quieted down a little bit.
She's getting others involved.
Has not played as much.
Tashia Phillips using that good body of hers.
Now this is the point in the game where it's easy to get sloppy, and the bigger girls are going to get a little bit more fatigued. I would expect some good perimeter action down the stretch. The guards are going to be able to finish this a lot stronger than the bigger players.
That was the first bucket of the game for Italy Lucas. She has really struggled with her shot. Normally just instant offense, but today not so much. But Jasmine Thomas answers. The lead swells to 32 for the East. Good up and under. Shot off the mark. And Jeanette Poland can't hit it.
The guards are treating the bigger girls like they're pylons. They're just kind of cones. They're just dribbling in and out of them, and this is the time where there's a lot of tired players right now. Late nights, a lot of activities in the community, the Ronald McDonald House, a couple practices a day, banquets, all the excitement. They look very tired to me.
And again, Satara de Graffenried, we haven't seen her run anything except for full bore the entire game. She starts the break, and it results in a foul call. Lauren Dixon picks up the personal. She'll go to the free throw line. When we come back, timeout on the floor. 3:03 remaining. We still have to recap the best plays of the day, and there have been some doozies. You don't want to go anywhere. When we come back, we will show you the best of the best. Kentucky, the Regal, John Wooden looking on, and so far it has been all east. They're up 96-64. We have seen a bevy of fantastically athletic plays so far today.
Well, how appropriate that John Wooden leads into our best plays of the day. Very impressive, Jasmine Thomas. You've got the up and under on the weak side by Amy Jayski. But when I talk about John Wooden, he actually appreciates the girls' game more than the boys. He said it's a more fundamental brand of basketball. The passing, the ball handling, the unselfishness. He thinks that a lot of the boys have been corrupted by all the hype that goes with it. But the girls' game, he likes to sit back and watch. There's Lauren Dixon to the rim, and she epitomizes what all these other girls have brought. High energy and a lot of fun.
Dixon hits a pair of free throws, and with that, a new record has been set for the East. Erica Morrow in the East, they have combined for the most points ever in the girls' game.
Hitting the century mark. I would say that they're going to blow by that by a long shot. Many long shots.
Devereaux Peters, no. Rebound, East, and ahead of the pack. It's going to be an easy two for Mara Strickland.
Mara Strickland has a great smile and an outstanding personality. Her brother, Marshall Strickland, a star player at Indiana. Her sister, Marche, was also a player at Maryland. So a lot of good backyard play for Strickland.
And a steal on the inbounds pass and an easy two for Tyra White. There's Strickland, and she's got 2 buckets in a row. Strickland, a member of the National Honor Society at Townsend Catholic High School in Mount Airy, Maryland. Good up and under left-handed shot in for Kayla Peterson. Underneath 2 minutes to play. Jackson loses it, and Morrow with the basketball. Well, Tim, final thoughts on what we've seen?
Well, I think more than anything else, it's a fun event. It's a celebration of a long career. These girls have played for a decade or more. They've worked on their skills, and I just have this image of little pigtail girls and going out in the backyard and shooting with dad and playing in boys leagues. This is a lot of hard work and the opportunity to come out and just have fun, make new friends. They get a McDonald's All-American ring, something that they'll never forget. And the final outcome is irrelevant. It's all about the Ronald McDonald House and the celebration of girls basketball.
1 minute remaining.
Devereaux Peters, no. Runs down the loose ball.
Now, what do you think about MVP? First half was amazing for Moore. Second half, there have been a lot of other players that have outshined her.
I still like Maya Moore.
I agree.
When the game was in doubt, she was the one who really was head and shoulders above everyone else.
Yeah, and as the player of the year, she certainly lived up to the billing.
Half a minute to go. With this win, the East are now going to have 2 wins to the 4 wins for the West. Last bucket made by Tyra White.
Yeah, and fun for the ladies as the game gets towards the end. The crowd is really starting to file in, so this is the biggest crowd that they've ever been in front of, and it's a chance to showcase a little bit.
Inside. Vicky Ball with her final 2 of the night, and that'll do it.
That looked like a dunk attempt to me.
Looked like she was thinking about it. Final shot of the day. Morrow has it rim out. And that'll end it. A 105-76 win for the East All-Stars. Maya Moore in the East. They had an early lead that was massive, and they didn't fritter it away. So for the second time in 6 years, the East, with the win, scored 105-76. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll wrap this one up with a pretty bow. Stick around, everyone. One final time here to Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. It was the East All-Stars on top of the West All-Stars by a bunch. In the first half, it was Maya Moore. In the second half, it was Jasmine Thomas alongside Tim McCormick. I'm Eric Collins. And, well, they're not going to go with Maya Moore as the player of the game. Instead, it's going to be Jasmine Thomas.
Flip a coin. It was either way. Both those players dominated, but really it was a team effort. The guards for the East were just amazing. They got a lot of layups. The rebounding really was the big disparity, though.
So that'll do it. Congratulations to the East All-Stars. They win for just the second time in 6 runnings of this game. They're now 2-4 against the West. Coming up next, it's NCAA softball. Texas A&M. The Aggies taking on the Longhorns of Texas. And a reminder to catch the 30th annual McDonald's Boys All-American game later tonight at 8 Eastern time on ESPN. For Quint Kesnick and Tim McCormick, I'm Eric Collins saying so long from Louisville.